Okay, let's see.
Welcome to Yodi's Table, and thanks for joining. Woohoo! Hey, welcome to Yodi's Table, and thanks for tuning in to this week's A to Z Cooking with Me series, where this week we'll be focused on the letter C. And here I've decided to make a chickpea stew. So if you're interested in learning how to make this, please stay tuned. Here I have half a cup of chopped onion. I have 2 small potatoes, which comes out to about a cup to a cup and a half. I have a cup of garbanzo beans. These are canned. They've been washed and rinsed. 4 cloves of garlic, minced. Here I have a tablespoon of oil. You can use an oil of your choice. Here I have some vegetable oil. I have a cup of tomato sauce, also canned. I have 2 cups of vegetable broth. For this dish, the spices are really making a hit. So here I have a tablespoon of curry powder. I have a half a teaspoon of allspice powder. I have a half a teaspoon of nutmeg powder. I have a teaspoon and a half of paprika. I have a teaspoon of thyme. I have a half a teaspoon of cumin powder. I have a teaspoon of chili powder. And here I have a 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. So what we're gonna do now in order to get this dish started is we're gonna turn our burner up to about a medium-high heat. I have it on about a 4, and we're just gonna toss our onions right in. And what we want with our onions is to get them to be a little bit translucent. So we're gonna saute these and toss our oil in. And we want them to soften up and again, become translucent. What I forgot to add is that we'll be serving this over rice. So again, my rice of preference is basmati, and we'll be using about a cup of basmati rice. At this point, I did go ahead and turn my heat down a little bit. It seemed like my onions were burning a little faster than they were turning translucent and softening. So I did turn that down. And you can see that it's starting to have a little bit of a golden color, which is definitely what we want. So at this point, we'll go ahead and add our garlic and saute that in. I've been sauteing the garlic into the mix for about a minute or so. So at this point, we'll go ahead and add all our spices. And you want to kind of mix that in. If you see that the spice mix is kind of dry, go ahead and add a little bit of water to it. And so here I want to add just a smidge of water so that way it starts to become aromatic. I'm adding about a tablespoon of water. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my potatoes in. With the potatoes, you want them to be coated into this spice mix. And again, if you start to see that it's sticking to the bottom and it's not coating your potatoes well, go ahead and add a little bit more water. I'm gonna go ahead and add about another tablespoon of water. We're gonna allow this to go for about 2 to 3 minutes, and we just want the spices to thoroughly mix with the potatoes and give them a nice flavor. So once this has cooked for about a minute or 2, we're gonna go ahead and add our chickpeas and give that a good mix as well. We want those in the spice, mixed into the spice as well. Once you see that your chickpeas are thoroughly mixed, go ahead and add your tomato sauce. Give that a good mix. We want this to just come to a slight simmer, and then we'll go ahead and add our vegetable broth. Now that it's come to a slight simmer, go ahead and add your vegetable broth. And give this a good mix. Once everything is mixed in, we're gonna add our lid, and we're gonna let this go for 30 minutes. What we're looking for is for our potatoes to be soft and cooked, and we'll come back and take a look. While I was waiting for the stew to cook up, I did go ahead and make some rice. If you're interested in learning how I make my rice, please go ahead and check out the last video. And of course, let's go ahead and check up on our stew. And really what we're looking for is for our potatoes to be softened. And so I'm gonna take one of these potatoes and smush it up against the edge. And really that's the texture we're looking for. And if you're finding that the stew is starting to stick to the bottom of your pot, go ahead and add some more vegetable broth. I'm gonna add about 1/4 cup of vegetable broth, and I'm gonna mix that in. Since our broth is cooked, really all I'm looking for is for the broth to be heated in it, and as this is starting to come to a simmer, we know that it's done. So we'll go ahead and serve this up and be good to go. And here's the final product. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace. Until next time.